What kind of socks do you need to plant chili peppers?
What kind, Sharon?
Garden hose.
I just had this picture of somebody with garden hose up to their knees.
That's right.
Hungry Squared, bringing you the best food talk anywhere.
Welcome to the Hungry Squared podcast, where the brain and belly meet. I'm Sharon from the Wasatch Cooking Guide.
And I'm Winter from theredparty.com. This week we are talking about chili oils, and we have a special guest, the folks from Chili Beak.
It's all the food talk you're looking for. Hungry Squared, yeah, Hungry Squared.
Winter, what'd you eat this week?
Well, something that was probably not great for the waistline, but it was delicious.
Go on.
So, we've been trying really, really hard to save a little bit of money in our grocery bill, because if we could, we would go to the grocery store every single day, and we have been in the past, because we like to decide what we want to eat, and we go buy it and make it, and it's fun and stuff.
Which that's like the European way, so sometimes that's totally fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that's great and everything, but we're like, you know what? We got to be a little bit more frugal. Let's find what's in our fridge.
Yeah.
So we shopped the fridge,
which is awesome. And I think that should probably be an episode, like shopping your pantry, shopping your fridge.
See, and because I feel like I waste so much stuff because I'm
Totally.
like, oh, it's old. I got to throw this away. It's past expiration date, all that jazz.
Yeah.
So we decided to shop our fridge and our pantry for dinner on Sunday, and decided to make nachos.
Ooh.
Because we had all the everythings, for it. Yeah. Chips, we had cheese, we had sour cream and avocados, and tomatoes left over from something else that we had just done. However, we did not have any jalapenos or anything.
Oh.
So, and I like to have something hot, like
you like a kick,
a little spicy something or another. But Lee, he totally hacked it. It was great. We did have mini bell peppers, those sweet bell pepper things.
Oh, the super cute ones that come in a bag.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're great. They're a great snack. They're super healthy. He decided to cut those up, dice them up. Well, he didn't dice them. Bigger chunks. No, he didn't do slices. They were kind of bigger chunks. And so he sauteed those up, and then he put a spoonful of Chili Beak with it. And
yeah.
So I didn't quite realize that they weren't jalapenos.
Ooh. Because you still got your spicy kick from the Chili Beak.
Exactly. So, and people are probably like, what the heck are they talking about? So we're going to be talking to the Chili Beak folks today. They make these chili oils, and it was just a perfect amount of heat, and also the texture of the peppers were perfect. So I kind of felt like I was getting my pepper kick in my super nachos that we made.
Nice.
It was really good.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about chili oil.
Yeah.
Their chili oil is so yummy and fantastic.
Yeah. And they are awesome too. So
yeah.
Sharon, what did you eat this week?
I ate a Costco salad. Before you rag on me for eating a Costco salad.
I was going to rag on you for eating a Costco salad.
It's
not that there's anything wrong.
That's by the takeout pizza.
Okay.
And the chicken bakes.
Okay.
Because those are good. But that's not what I ate. I actually went into the chili produce, chili as in cold, not chili as in chilibeak.com. I went into the chili produce room, which was kind of nice because it's warm outside, and it was nice to go into the cold room.
You might as well chill out.
And I got one of those superfood salads, and I made that last over actually it's not really making it last because it's from Costco and I'm one person. So I made it last over 4 days.
Oh, well, you're one person, so.
Yeah. But it's got shaved Brussels sprouts. It's got shredded broccoli. And I don't really like broccoli because it's really fibrous. Mm-hmm. I like the broccolini, kind of thing. But it's got, the same consistency as broccoli slaw that you would have.
Oh, yeah. Did it come with a dressing?
Yes, it came. So it's got pepitas in it, the pumpkin seeds.
Oh,
and dried cranberries.
Is that what they're called? Pepitas?
Yeah.
I learned something new today, everybody. It's really sad. There's so many things that I just don't understand about food or don't know about food.
Me too. Actually, no, we are experts. Keep listening.
Yeah, we're totally. You guys need us because we're telling you stuff about food.
As we find out. So yeah, it's got a lovely poppy seed dressing. It's actually really good. I think a lot of people pass it up because it's got broccoli and Brussels sprouts and kale in it. But it's all cut up super fine and it's yummy and crunchy.
And healthy.
Yeah. So I win.
Good
with my salad.
Yeah,
not like I win over your nachos because it's nachos.
Well, I was like, you win because it's super healthy, and I did not eat anything. I ate a salad. Yes, exactly. I did not win, but the super nachos were hecka good. Just saying. But that salad does sound really good, especially in the summer months. It's just too hot.
Yeah,
it is too hot to like do a lot of cooking. Like we had the oven on for like 2 minutes to broil our chips and the cheese.
Oh yeah.
And that was too hot. We were like, we got to turn this thing off stat or else we're in trouble.
Yeah, well, and my apartment's super warm right now.
Yeah, see.
I just have the swamp cooler in the one room.
That's brutal.
It's a little tough.
Are you guys all melting out there? Because we're melting here.
Yeah.
And now for the main course.
Okay, let's get down to the topic at hand. We are here with Jason and Giselle McClure of chilibeak.com.
Yay, we're so excited to have you guys here today. Thanks so much for being on the show today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
We actually met Jason and Giselle. I actually met them at a little conference in downtown Salt Lake, and I was just excited about what they're doing, and I was puzzled about chili oil because that's what they do. We wanted to bring them onto the show to talk a little bit more about chili oils that they make and kind of how they got started.
So what is chili oil?
So chili oil, it's basically it's an alternative for hot sauce. When you eat chili oil, it's kind of a totally different experience. You sometimes will find it at Asian restaurants. However, we found the recipe down in Mexico, where Giselle is from. And so it's a really unique condiment to add to your foods, gives it great flavor and good spice.
That's awesome. So is there, I guess, how did you guys get started? So Giselle, you're from Mexico?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So how did you guys find chili oils? Because I only really knew, so I'm Chinese, and I found chili oils grace the tables of many a Chinese restaurant. I'm sure you know that. But I never really touched them, actually. I'll be completely honest. And so it was really fun to taste your chili oil and how smoky and how flavorful it was. And so how did it get started and in Mexico? Let's talk about that.
Exactly. Well, I'm originally from Guadalajara, Mexico. So we use a lot of chili oils there for like pizzas and seafood like ceviche. It's a seafood salad. So I introduced Jason when we were living there to the chili oils, and he loved them. And we have like very different chili oils there from versus like the Chinese ones. So they're more like roasted, more like, I don't know, they have like a bolder flavor. And since also like my grandma and my mom, they just love cooking and like salsas, hot sauces, everything from scratch. I was just kind of like interested about that. And Jason had the idea to start making our own chili oil and bring it here to Utah because we couldn't find something that we liked. So we started that.
It's actually kind of funny because we would bring back like liters at a time, like 2 liters when we came back from Mexico.
That's a lot.
That's crazy amount of oil.
How did you get through customs?
That was a good question. It was under a certain amount, but we made it through, and we would consume them in like 2 months. And then we were like, well, we can't just fly back to Mexico to get more, so let's find our own and start making our own. So we did that, and it turned out to be a huge success. Our friends loved it, just kept asking for more, so we just kept making it, and it got better and better, and now we have a company.
So with Chili Beak oil, how did you guys come up with those recipes? Are they from your grandma and mom, or how did you make them?
You know what? Like my grandma used to make like some chili oils, but they are like, more simple in a way. So between Jason and I, we start creating our own blend. Since Jason is from Texas, we wanted to have like some smokiness right there, plus the tradition of our chilies from Mexico. So yeah, it's how we started, and we have a lot of test batches, and we burned a bunch, but it took us like 7 months, like finally to like really nail it, right?
Oh yeah, and if you ever want to make your own, don't burn chilies. It's like you get a can of mace and you just spray it around your home, and then you just walk around for a while. Like it's pretty rough when you do.
Oh,
How many times have you burned oil? Have you burned chilies, I guess? Not
I
the oil.
think, well, for sure the first time, well, it was the second time because I wanted to make it like, oh yes, I want to make it faster or easier or whatever. So we just burned a batch, and yes, we were coughing a lot, sneezing a lot, opening the windows. It's like, I mean, the good thing, like the fire alarms or whatever, they never went off or something.
Fire alarms don't register capsaicin. That's totally different heat right there.
when did you finally come upon the particular recipe that you guys have? So I actually purchased one of your jars, and I love it. It's so smoky and everything. When did you guys come up with that first? I think you guys consider it medium heat, right? It's not scorching, and it's not mild. It's good medium.
Yeah, I think timeline, we started in probably June of 2013, creating the recipe. Okay, 2014. Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun. So we started creating the recipe, and I think by January of 2015, we kind of nailed the recipe, as Giselle loves to say. And that's when we really started giving it out to friends and letting them taste it. And we didn't have a concept, we didn't have a name, we just had a recipe that was it got us hooked. I mean, I was surprised for 2 years straight. We ate it every single day, every meal, kind of like you said earlier. You know, it was so tasty.
So what are your favorite things to eat it on and in? How do you use it?
I really liked, since we use them a lot, like I was saying it earlier, in pizzas and seafood. I also love it in like quesadillas. I love it, and like mix it with mayo to make like a spicy aioli for our sandwiches or our fish tacos. We drizzle on like chicken or saute some mushrooms.
And you know, when you go to pizza places, they give you the red pepper flakes. Mm-hmm. There's zero flavor in those. But if you add chili beak on, it's just totally different. And so I can't go back to pepper flakes. If it's either chili beak or nothing on my pizzas at this point.
Nice.
That's awesome. You guys have a hotter version of your recipe. I'm not totally sure what's all of those ingredients in there, but what makes it super hot? And is it really, really hot?
Well, we have the habanero in there, so those chilies are like hotter than the chili that we use in the medium one. We use in the medium like chipotles, so they are like a really nice medium heat level. And people, I mean, we were so like amazed that people start asking for something harder than our version, like the medium. So we start adding some habaneros. So with chile de árbol, and that chile de árbol is called bird's beak in Mexico. So that's why also the Chili Beak name, because we were playing around with that.
I love it.
I was going to ask you that question because I think you guys should have a fan club, and your fan club members should be called Chili Beakers. Just saying.
We would love that, to have that. I think we already have many Chili Beakers out there who love the product. We just haven't given them a name to rally behind yet.
I think this might be it. I think it might be it.
The rallying cry of Chili Beak. Chili Beakers.
I had no idea. That's really cool. That's a fun origin story, I guess. So I do have a quick question. I have never really had a lot of oils up until having Chili Beak. Can you kind of describe what the difference is between having something in an oil form versus like a hot sauce, right? I mean, they're both hot, but I felt like when I was eating the Chili Beak, it comes on differently, I guess. The heat comes on differently. Can you describe that a little bit? Maybe, do you have any science about that?
So it's quite interesting. You know, when we got started doing this, we didn't understand a lot of this. We just wanted something that tasted good. But as we made it, we realized there were some pretty big differences between, you know, chili oils and specifically our Chili Beak compared to, you know, hot sauces. So every hot sauce uses vinegar. It's the preservative. It keeps it, you know, gives it the shelf life. And but vinegar also has its own flavor. It's very acidic. It causes flavors and heat to hit you really fast. Where oils kind of have almost in a way an opposite effect. They're really just kind of like mellow. They carry flavors really well, but without imparting their own. And so what we realized was that the oil caused a different mouthfeel. You don't get a burn for about 20 to 30 seconds. I mean, for a lot of people anyway. It takes a while, and then it takes about a minute before it really hits its like full heat level. Where most hot sauces, you get that burn right away. You burn your taste buds, and then you don't really enjoy your meal. You just enjoy the heat, you know, assuming you enjoy, you know, lots of heat. That's what you get from a hot sauce. But with chili oils, you get flavor and heat. It's beautiful how it all comes together to produce a really remarkable culinary experience.
That is so interesting. So it's like Sharon was saying, a slow burn. I was thinking about this because I was trying to figure out why it was so, it was like the slow burn. And I was thinking, I was like, well, like the hot sauces are more vinegar based. Like you said, they have their own flavor, but it's basically a hydrophilic type of a substance, right? It likes water. Your tongue's hydrophilic, I think. It's fairly, it's likes water. It does that. But then the oil, I bet, I'm just thinking like it's the oil captures the capsaicin or those flavor molecules way better, and then it doesn't get to the tongue as quickly, and it needs to be broken down to get that heat. I was just kind of thinking about how the science of that's working, and I thought that was really cool that there was this this oil was kind of a slow release way of getting heat to you. So I thought that was fun. So
I think it's a tastier burn myself. I've eaten a lot of Cajun food in my life, and I've cooked a lot of Cajun food in my life, but you know, we always use the vinegar-based hot sauces to heat it up, and like Cajun spices, I guess. But I think it would be so much more fun to try cooking with the Chili Beak versus a Tabasco or Louisiana or Crystal.
Yeah, and something that I would like to say is like that's the beauty of like the human beings. Like we are all different, and we are all like having different taste buds. So maybe there are people who love sriracha and they have a lot of vinegar and sugars in there. Maybe there are people who just like those spicy oils. But I mean, anyways, we are just creating something different, and it's a different alternative or a great alternative for your hot sauces. And the great thing is like we don't use any sugar. There is no vinegar. It's all vegan. It's gluten free. So it's amazing for like all people.
That's awesome.
So I have a quick question, you guys. You know how they have the Scoville heat index? Have you guys ever had the Chili Beak measured for that?
We haven't had it tested, but we kind of have a pretty good idea. So the original blend, which is our smoky one that you mentioned earlier, that one's got chile de árbol, which technically actually used to be called a really hot chili, but in the comparison of, you know, the scale nowadays, it's pretty mild relative. But on the Scoville scale, we're guessing based on chile de árbol being the primary chili, it's about 15,000 Scoville units, give or take. And it could range quite a bit because even one harvest of chilies can be spicier than the next harvest of chilies. So unless we tested every single batch, we probably wouldn't know exact. But we're guessing somewhere around 15,000.
15 to 25.
Yeah. And then the habanero version, that one has a bigger range. Habaneros by themselves are about 100,000 anywhere to 500,000.
That is hot.
They are very hot. We have other stories about testing habaneros when we started making that batch that are really funny too. But the habanero, we're guessing because it's not pure habanero, it's going to be less than 100,000, but it's still up there around that 100,000 point.
So do you guys like the habanero one? Do you guys eat that one regularly? Because that seems really hot to me.
I eat it more often than Giselle, but I don't eat much. Like a drop or two and I'm good. That's all I need on my food compared to the original where it's like a tablespoon at a time, and that's perfect. So it's very, very different ways we use it.
Yeah, but that's why it's like I really like to mix it in sour cream or mayo to kind of like cool it down. But also something that we like to put it on is in our pumpkin spice bread. I know, sounds kind of crazy, but is really good for baking as well.
So which oil are you using for baking? Are you using the original or the habanero?
The habanero.
Really?
Yeah, but also the original, we try some brownies and you have this amazing like sweet and chocolate and a little smoky.
Oh.
Yes, they're
Yum.
really good.
So how much are you adding to your brownie recipe or candy recipes?
We add everything's a little bit different. With the habanero, it's literally drops, and that's enough for us. Some people could handle spoonfuls at a time in their meals. But we really like the original. We'll usually put anywhere from 1 to 2 tablespoons, depending on how big of a dish we're making. And that's our starting point. And then we'll add more as like we'll taste it and see how it is and let it sit for a minute. And then if we like that, we'll add more to it. Or we'll just keep it right there. But 1 to 2 tablespoons is a general rule of where we start at.
Giselle, can you go back to that pumpkin bread?
Well-
Let's talk about this. Like, are you putting it, like you're mixing it into the batter?
Yes.
Or the dough?
Yes.
And then baking it?
Yep. I mean, it's called spicy pumpkin bread, right? I mean, for me, spicy needs to be some heat in there. I'm from Mexico. So not just cinnamon or like nutmeg or something like that. No, for me, it's spicy. I just like take some heat.
Okay. That's... And so I just want to ask I'm very curious about this. So what kind of pumpkin? Is it just like canned pureed pumpkin? And then what other things are in it? I'm like, I really want to make this now.
I know. Well, Jason, you can tell me better now.
Well, we made it. Do we use fresh pumpkin on that one?
Yes.
Yeah, so we use fresh pumpkin on that one. But we just literally found a standard pumpkin bread recipe. I just made fresh pumpkin, like baked it in the oven and did that whole works. And then just added a spoonful of chili beak in. And we like a little bit less sweet than the average recipe. So we actually cut down the sugar by usually about half. And then we add the chili beak in. And it gives this kind of lightly sweet, really savory, and then spicy snack. So it's really good.
I am so excited to try this.
I know. Can you share that recipe with us and maybe our listeners? I don't know if it's a proprietary something or a recipe or something like that, but that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we can have it ready for October.
That's perfect, actually.
Right? But yeah, the nice thing about the chili oils, I mean, you can just have your favorite recipes and kind of like tweak it a little bit with the chili oils, or you can just like go online, find your, I don't know, a recipe that appeals to you and start like playing around with it.
You know, that actually, you bring up a good point because for example, baking, you need to have some sort of fat. And that would be a perfect vehicle, like having that chili oil and you get that flavor as well. And then it can kind of act like as one of the fats it incorporates pretty well, I bet.
Yeah. In fact, you asked earlier about, that difference between a hot sauce and a vinegar. I would never think of putting vinegar in a bread or in brownies. Like the vinegar itself, not necessarily the flavor of the chilies, but the vinegar would just throw off the whole recipe. But the oil doesn't change a thing.
Yes.
That, seriously, the pH would totally, you're right. I mean, that would screw up your baking 100%. 100%. So, okay, people. Are you getting ideas? I'm getting ideas.
Ooh, Christmas with some chili chocolates.
Okay, well, I think they need to tell us about their caramels.
Yes, please.
Oh yeah. Well, we have this friend that she's making these amazing caramels and we are mixing our chili oils on them. So you just get these amazing sweet, buttery, spicy caramels. And I mean, they're not like the regular ones that maybe you find in some stores. These ones are really very rich and they are very addicting. So we need to try them.
I was going to share mine, but I didn't.
Me too. It's totally true. I was going to give some to my husband, and I ate them all.
It's okay. We can give you more.
That's just a sign that we made them good, that they turned out well if they don't make it home.
Yeah, exactly. I want to ask you, Giselle, you just said something about how you sometimes add it with sour cream to cut back on the heat. Do you do that a lot, or does it really cut back a ton, or how does that work? Because I know that everybody says that when you got something super hot and you need to kind of tame it down, you drink a glass of milk if your mouth is on fire. Right. So do you think it cuts back too much if you add it to sour cream?
Well, yeah, I mean, in the way of like using it in mayo or sour cream, it cuts it down the heat because with the fats, they helps you in your like taste buds to kind of like cover some of the heat from the chili oils, but also like mixes like I don't know, it has a really nice flavor to add into your sandwiches than just like, I don't know, a boring mayo or plain flavor. So just add a little bit and it's just amazing. I don't know, maybe like a cup of mayo, you can mix like a tablespoon of chili oil right there. But like I'm saying, you can just play around and add a little bit more and it's going to be just amazing.
That sounds amazing. I did learn something actually about capsaicin because it's fat soluble, right? There's something in milk or milk products, I guess it's called casein, that interacts and binds to the capsaicin and kind of neutralizes it. And so that's why I was like, I wonder how much it neutralizes it if you're putting it into sour cream or mayo. Mayo, not as much, right? Because if it's a homemade mayo, then we shouldn't have too many issues with that.
No, it's just your egg.
It's your egg, yeah. So it would probably just be if you were doing sour cream. So I thought that was interesting when I was researching this topic. This was a lot of fun.
Well, you can do as well sour cream, ranch. You can add it to like blue cheese dips or dressings for chicken wings. Like there's so many applications for it. I mean, literally, you said earlier, you can put it on everything. And when we say that to people, they don't truly understand that everything means everything. So brownies, we talked about bread. We've done it on ice cream. I mean,
what? Yeah.
Versatile.
What's it like on the ice cream?
It's really, really unique because normally most foods you're eating Chili Beak with are going to be hot foods, right? You've got something that's warm and I don't know, there's this natural association. But when you eat ice cream, you're expecting cold and sweet, but then you get this like smoky. We did it with the original, the smoky blend, and we just bit into it and it's like smoky and it's rich, and because it's cold, it almost numbs your tongue so you don't feel much of the heat. But then it just like slowly creeps in there. It's a unique experience. You should try it.
Is it just the Chili Beak, or do you guys put any like fruits or anything? I'm just trying to think of like, oh, that would be really good, but you could make a pretty awesome sundae.
Oh yeah, you can drizzle on watermelon. You can drizzle on apples. You can just kind of like drizzle a little bit as well, some like a lime juice. On pineapple, it's amazing if you marinate the pineapple slices and mix it up with a little honey in it and grill them. Oh my God.
Oh, yum. So you
really
get the
good.
sweet and spicy pineapple when you grill it.
Exactly.
Well, you guys said you put it on everything. I'm wondering what the weirdest thing that you put the Chili Beak on besides the ice cream, because that actually blew me away. I was a little surprised. Maybe that's the craziest thing, but that was rather unexpected for me.
I think the ice cream was unexpected for us. A client actually sent us a picture of her ice cream with Chili Beak on top, and so we're like, well, I guess we need to buy some ice cream. So the ice cream was probably the weirdest. We've made a lot of chocolate dishes. We've done chocolate fondues, truffles, brownies, mousse, all with Chili Beak added in. And it's almost like, instead of putting salt and pepper, like we just naturally just add Chili Beak to our meals now because it just enhances the flavor so much that it's naturally combines with everything. So it's quite versatile.
Yeah, well, for me, it's no weird to put like some spice in my foods because in Mexico we eat like with spicy, like hot sauce or chili oil on everything. But when I say to people, like I use this chili oil as well for popcorn. They look at me like weird. I'm like, no, really, it's very good. Just like drizzle a little bit on popcorn. It's really nice. Or and like mix it up in your avocados or foods like that. I mean, it's just, who doesn't like it spicy? Come on. Even in your fry sauce, just to have a different one.
Well, and the other thing that like I said, I've been eating it quite a bit lately, and I've noticed that it's really flavorful. There's some hot sauces or other things that I've eaten that are hot, and all I get is hot, not a lot of flavor. And I think that's kind of the unique thing about Chili Beak and what you guys have done with it. I think tell me again, you've roasted the chilies, and you also have what other ingredients do you have in there, and what have you done to them?
So the basic, I mean, everything starts with the combination of chilies. So we chose a combination of chilies that really, they're each unique flavors on their own, but each add something, depth of flavor. They'll add heat. They add the smokiness. So that starts with that. We add a little bit of garlic powder, and it's a tiny, tiny amount, so it's not like a garlic sauce, but it just gives it that little extra flavor. There's a little bit of Redmond sea salt, which is a local Utah salt. It's absolutely amazing. And then we literally take all of that and just kind of like lightly coat it in oil, just roast it. And that just kind of starts that extraction process of pulling out those flavors, marrying everything together. And then when we put all that in the jars, we fill it up with oil. And then, it takes about, I'd say, anywhere from 5 to 7 days for it to kind of hit that peak flavor. Because if you try one fresh, you're like, well, that's good. But if you try it at 7 days, you're like, whoa, that's really good. Like it keeps getting better with time. So it's really nice to have that. So we actually like to make it and like just let it sit for a little bit, knowing that by the time the client gets it at home, it's going to hit that peak flavor.
The flavors have to meld and marry and do their thing.
It's like aging. Aging of your oil.
Yes.
How long does the Chili Beak jar, how long is it good for once it's opened? And do you refrigerate it or is it shelf stable?
So it's very shelf stable because we use everything in a dry form. So if we were using like a fresh garlic, it will last you like 2 months maybe, or 3, but everything is dry. So once you open the bottle, it will last you up to 10 months. The oils, they start getting like rancid over time. It's something that you don't even taste. But anyways, just for safety reasons, it's better just kind of like consume that like as fast as you can.
It's not going to last that long, people. I'm just saying.
Exactly. And I mean, you can put it in your fridge if you want. It will last you longer. But we recommend not to do it because room temperature is much better and the flavor stays there better.
Oh.
And it's funny you asked that question. It's kind of like the old Tootsie Roll, Tootsie Pop, like how many licks does it take? We don't really know how long it lasts because we consume them too fast. So
That's awesome. We really appreciate you guys coming on the show today. That was really a lot of fun and super informative. There's a lot of things I did not know about chili oils before we sat down and chatted with you. So I really appreciate your time. Jason and Giselle want to offer something to our listeners, so I'll let them introduce that to you guys.
All right. So in honor of you guys taking the time to listen to this and getting educated on the great foods, we want to extend and offer a 10% off any purchases you make through the end of August off of the podcast you listen to. And the code on that is going to be Hungry 10%. We thought about saying 10% hungry, but then I'm actually 90% hungry. I was like, well, that doesn't work out. So we're going to do Hungry 10% on that. And any orders are caramels, the chili oils, and any other products that may pop up on the site as well. So feel free to check that out and enjoy your bottle.
And we'll have the information on our show notes and the link there so you guys can find them because they're awesome, you guys. I really love them. It's been enjoyable to consume it, and now I'm gonna go try it on ice cream.
Yes, not just avocado toast and tacos.
So many things. Like I'm gonna try it on everything now. So thanks again for having us today and chatting with us and being so hospitable.
Oh, thank you so much. And don't forget to grab a spoon, open your bottle, stir, and serve. That's all.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for being on Hungry Squared.
Thank you, ladies.
Our podcast is brought to you by our awesome and food-loving sponsors. Our first sponsor today is Creminelli Meats. And while we're on the topic, I just want to give you guys a reminder that we're having a swag box giveaway. Woohoo! If you leave us an iTunes rating and a review, you'll be entered to win one of our 10 swag bags full of some of these goodies we're about to talk about. So yes, it's so good. So like I said, our first sponsor is Creminelli today.
I love Creminelli.
Oh,
they are at creminelli.com,
yes.
CREMINELLI.com. Fine Italian meats.
And salamis. You guys,
charcuterie.
I just want to say it's pretty awesome to say that Creminelli was born in Utah, in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Even though he's cut a very thick Italian accent.
Oh, yes.
Well,
Cristiano is pretty awesome.
Cristiano, I don't think, was born in Salt Lake City, Utah.
No.
But the Creminelli meat
Yes.
was born in Salt Lake City, Utah.
So we are so excited to partner with them. We've been eating the Creminelli fine meats for a long time in our house. And we love it. Like, we often pick up the wild boar salami.
Ooh, I just took that to a party not too long ago.
And you were probably pretty fancy and popular because of it.
I was very popular.
Yeah.
Also, the High West salami.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good too. Made with High West whiskey.
Oh,
Delightful.
Well, and they also have kind of a new line of their meats that we want to tell you a little bit about today.
Yeah, so they have a new charcuterie line. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Charcuterie?
Yes, their sliced charcuterie line.
Yes, pre-sliced meat and cheeses. Delicious. They have a Felino and Manchego, which is uncured Italian salami, and a sheep's milk cheese from Spain.
It's nice because you could take that, like if you're going on a picnic, just grab that.
Ooh, outdoor summer concerts.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Twilight concerts in Ogden.
Totally.
Yeah. Red Butte.
Perfect.
Prosciutto, which is a pork and sea salt. They have the Varzi, which is uncured Italian salami with sea salt and nutmeg.
Ooh, nutmeg.
Yum.
What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I actually have had that one and it is quite delightful.
And then they also have their Calabrese, which is an Italian salami with red pepper and paprika.
Ooh, that one sounds lovely too.
Yeah. So one of these, maybe two of these, I can't remember how many we've got, is going to be in your swag box if you are one of our winners.
Woohoo.
All of our listeners get a 10% discount by going to creminelli.com and entering the discount code HungrySquared2016.
And that's 2016, like the numbers.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Creminelli, for partnering with us. We're so excited to work with you.
Yay.
And our second sponsor today is Craftsy. And they are an online location where you can take classes, anything crafty.
You can take photography,
food
knitting,
classes,
crocheting.
They have a spinning class.
Jewelry. Yeah.
They don't have a spinning class like as in a bicycle spinning class, but like they teach how to spin
Like with
thread.
a spinning wheel.
Yeah, it's cool. We are so excited to partner with Craftsy, and they have some amazing classes. I am excited to do a couple of these classes that I've already queued up for myself anyway. I think Sharon actually has quite a few of them as well.
Oh, yeah. They've got a class, Baking with the Gluten-Free Girl, Shauna Ahern. She's awesome. Check out her blog, Gluten-Free Girl. And then they also have Ellie Krieger is teaching a class. For those of you that don't know who Ellie Krieger is, she's a registered dietitian and she has her own show on PBS Food. She's a James Beard award-winning author.
Yeah, and I really was excited about this class because she kind of breaks down how to create a very delicious meal with the stuff that you like. I like the way she broke it down was that the usually stuff that you put in, the ingredients that you usually use, the good fresh vegetables and fruits and that type of thing, grains, and then the things that you sometimes use and sometimes you rarely use, but it's still there, like cheeses and bacon and that type of thing, but it's there for a punch of flavor and that type of thing. So
yeah, and her class is called Flavor Comes First, Healthy Meals That Taste Delicious.
I was actually eyeing this one class called The Art and Science of Bread, and it's taught by Michael Calanti, and he just goes through yeast and how you ferment things and what times that you let things ferment. It's just kind of cool. It's very, very scientific. So I think some of our listeners will really enjoy that if you really are into the food science aspect. And then the other one I was kind of eyeing was one by Jacques Torres. And if anybody knows who he is, he's a James Beard award winner. Like he was the pastry chef of the year. I guess they call him Mr. Chocolate because
he's amazing.
I know, it really.
Yeah, he used to work in a Michelin-rated restaurant, and now he owns his own chocolate company, like a chocolate store in New York City.
In New York City, right? So,
yeah. And
he teaches you how to make his ultimate chocolate cake, and it's beautiful, and it would be a showstopper.
Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous. There's this huge, like, dried chocolate flour on top.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
You would win your dinner party
with that.
You'd win all of the dinner parties with that. It's beautiful.
So we're so excited to partner with Craftsy, and we have some cool stuff that's going to go into the...
Yeah, so all of our swag bag winners will win one free class of their choosing from Craftsy.
That is awesome, you guys. Because some of these classes, they're filmed in HD, so they're really nice quality. They even have like a virtual classroom where you can ask your questions. So if you're like, I tried something, it didn't work, can you answer this for me? They'll answer back. You're the teacher. So like Jacques Torres will answer back.
Yeah, and all of your classes come with online material that you can download and print, recipes, instructions, things to remember, just things that the instructor wants you to have. It's really cool.
Yeah, so our winners are going to get one free class, and we're super excited about that.
And then all of our listeners can get 50% off your first class by going to craftsy.com/hungry squared.
And Craftsy is CRAFTSY.com. So we're so excited to work with them. Thanks for partnering with us, Craftsy.
Let's have a food fight.
Food fight, food fight, food fight, food fight.
This is the segment where you can email us with your relationship questions relating to food. You can email us at hungrysquared@gmail.com.
Disclaimer, we are in no way professional relationship experts, but you should totally listen to us anyway. If you need professional help, however, please seek it out.
Food fight, food fight. The food fight segment of the show. Here we go.
So this week's question is from Organized in the Kitchen.
Organized in the kitchen. Okay.
Organized in the Kitchen writes, I love my kitchen and I love to cook. Recently, I've started handing over the reins for cleaning to whoever offers. It's great, but my problem is they're doing it wrong. How do I politely correct my family and friends to let them know how I would like them to load the dishwasher and clean my kitchen?
Wow. Wow. Wow.
What do you think about them apples?
Ugh. Okay. Well,
Kudos for getting people to help you out.
yes, because
That's sometimes really hard.
yeah, it really is. So that's good. I have a couple of concerns about this question actually, because like we have this philosophy in our home that if whoever cooks, and this is something that I grew up with too, like whoever cooks, the people that didn't cook have to clean up.
Yeah.
That's just kind of a rule. Like when I was a kid, when my dad was off working, it was just me and my siblings. And so whoever cooked the meal, that was kind of like somebody else would set the table and somebody else had to do the dishes afterward.
Right.
And that was kind of fun because if you got to cook, you could make a big mess. And then you turned it over to the cleaner upper.
Yeah.
So I think my first gut reaction is to be like, dear Organized in the Kitchen, just let it be.
Yeah.
Let them do it however they want to. And if they didn't do an awesome job, you can kind of clean up after them. Right? I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Like if they don't load the dishwasher right, or if they, don't scrub out the sink like you do after you're done with the dishes or something like that. You can do that really quickly. It's not a big deal.
Right. Like anything that they're not doing is not a huge, are you deep cleaning your kitchen every single night? You're probably not.
Yeah.
Most likely not.
It's probably just like a load the dishwasher, wipe down the counters, maybe wipe out the sink, right? Or edge of the sink.
Yeah. Maybe wipe down the stove.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, if maybe they're not wiping it down. I don't know. But I don't know. How do you politely correct your family and friends on how you want them to clean your kitchen? Well, your family lives there too.
It's true.
So it's their kitchen as well.
Yeah, they can load the dishwasher any way they want to.
Kinda. I mean, like within reason.
Yeah.
Like don't break things. I mean, if things are breaking in your dishwasher because somebody isn't loading it right.
Yeah.
They're putting crystal in the bottom rack or something ridiculous. Yeah, I think you could totally say something. But, I mean, I've lived with people who have been OCD.
Oh, really?
About loading the dishwasher and about cleaning and things like that. And I think because of that, I am a better cleaner now. Like I'm very clean. I clean a lot. Just because I felt bad that they had to do all of the cleaning because they were doing deep cleaning multiple times a week, but cleaning every single day and like thorough cleaning, not just kind of like a cursory wipe down the counter and stove after cooking.
They were taking the Clorox wipes and going into crevasses and everything else.
Exactly. Yeah. So
that's tough in a relationship, in roommate relationships.
It was, but I mean, I ended up pitching in more than I thought was necessary, but pitching in enough so that they didn't feel that they were doing all the work, because I thought that was necessary to have a harmonious home.
So you say that you are a better cleaner now. So how do you load your dishwasher now? Do you still do it the same way? Because sometimes I've found that when I've had a roommate, the things that I picked up from roommates, it's a habit now. And so.
Yeah, for sure. I tend to load the dishwasher the way, like, because this one particular roommate of mine, she wanted the forks in one section, the knives in one section, the spoons in one section. That's how I do it
too.
Yeah, so it's easier when you put it away. You can just grab one handful and it goes in the right slot in the drawer.
That's totally my philosophy.
But I have children in my life who are ADHD and who literally forget how to clean. Like,
they may not even understand the concepts.
No, they do. I mean,
okay, that's good.
I've walked them through it many a time.
Oh, okay.
But Saturday chores come around, or midweek, whatever. And like several times they've ended up staring at the bathroom, like wondering where to start, kind of a thing. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the cleaner. It's right under the sink, and so you have to kind of walk them step by step because they forget. But now, like, they put some dishes in the dishwasher and it's like awesome.
So
it might not be where I would put the dish, but as long as the dish, again, is not breaking because of the placement in the dishwasher, then
you're just happy they did something.
There. Yeah. Because I mean, it's hard to instill habits in kids and stuff like that, especially kids that, kids by their very nature are just kind of flighty and rambunctious and they break stuff and whatever. I mean, as long as it's going in the dishwasher, like they know that they need to rinse it off and put it in the dishwasher when they're done with it. That's awesome.
You're going to count it as a win. I think that's a win.
Yeah. And sometimes not very many dishes get put in the dishwasher because of the weird, like whoever loaded the dishwasher. They're like, oh, there's no more room for this half a sink full of dishes. And so they just decide to run the dishwasher. But it's like, well, as long as they're planning on loading it right after this cycle is done, then it kind of doesn't matter. Like there's more than one right way to get things clean.
So what I'm getting from you is that organizing the kitchen needs to just walk away.
I think so. I mean, it's nice when people do things your way because it feels like you've got control and it feels very organized and your world just feels right. But sometimes people are going to do things their way.
Yep.
But you still have the same end goal in mind.
Yeah.
And you still and as long as you're still achieving that same end goal of getting the kitchen clean, then I'd say just walk away. Let it happen.
Yeah. I think you could, you cooked a meal, friend. Yeah. You cooked a meal.
And you cooked it any way you wanted to cook it.
Yeah.
You didn't make it to order.
Yeah. You, and you maybe did use every single pot and pan in the house. So
yeah.
Why don't you just walk away? Go put your feet up. Go watch a little Game of Thrones, okay?
Yeah. Like you deserve it.
You deserve it.
You deserve to relax and know that your kitchen is going to get clean.
Somehow. Maybe not to the level of, if
perfection.
Yes, exactly.
That you have.
But they've cut down the time that you would have to spend in the kitchen. So if they really, they forgot to clean the sink, for example, at least they got the dishes clean and wiped down the counters.
Yeah, and really that sink getting clean is like a 1 to 2 minute job.
Exactly. So
that you can take tomorrow and it's not going to be a big deal.
It's not going to be a big deal. Somebody's helping you. Let them.
Yay, help.
do it.
Okay, well, I hope that helped you organized in the kitchen.
Yeah. I just
let us know if your family and friends are staging a coup against you. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope you just let them help you.
Just let them help you, because they are probably very appreciative of the food you made them.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Like, really. Mm-hmm. And I just, it's been, just chill out.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us today on our show. You can find us at hungrysquared.com, on iTunes, and on Stitcher. Please leave us a rating in iTunes because that will help other people discover our podcast.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it really does super help. So we appreciate you, and we love it if you would share our podcast as well with your friends and family, because, you should, right?
Nobody wants to be hungry alone.
No, Hungry Squared.
That's right. Okay, thanks for joining us.
Love you. Bye.
Hungry Squared, yeah, Hungry Squared.